Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the ring, the challenger, George Froch!
I've worked for 15 years for this moment. This is the fight I've been waiting for. You've had your time. Now it's time for these belts to change hands. This is my time to be world champion.
Well, he's revelled in his role as the bad guy, hasn't he? And he's been reaping the reward of that right here. Just listen to those boos. But George Groves, as you heard, is made of stern stuff. Physically powerful, mentally tough. Some people think he's not up to this. There's no doubt whatsoever in George's mind that tonight there's going to be a changing of the guard. But the one thing he doesn't have is World Championship experience. And Jim, it's going to be fascinating to see how he handles the occasion.
Yeah, but he has the mentality of an unbeaten fighter who thinks he can't be beaten. I've been looking forward to see him leave the dressing room because so many times in the past I've seen underdogs lose the fight before they get to the ring. I don't see a hint of that in George Groves. I think he's enjoying the fact he's a huge underdog. I think he really comes into the ring tonight believing he's going to defeat Carl Froch. And let's remember, they have sparred together, so I mean, at least he has shared the ring with Carl Froch. I know that's nothing like the same thing, but he's not going into uncharted territory. But here comes the man.
Just listen to how different that reaction is. Well, it's sweaty palm time in here, no question about it. They've talked up a storm, both of them. George Groves has asked for it. He's got what he wants.
And now, ladies and gentlemen from Nottingham, England, it's time to meet the champion, the Cobra, Carl Froch!
I'm the WBA and the IBF World Champion. I have fought the best and earned the right to be called a genuine World Champion. You've done your talking outside the ring. I'm going to do my talking inside the ring. I'm ready for you. I just hope you're ready for me.
Comes the Cobra yet again, world title fight number 11 after 5 years mixing in the very highest company. You have to go back to the amateur days to find the last time he lost to a fellow Brit, but you also have to go back a few years to find the last time Carl Froch looked good against a young, fresh, aggressive prospect. And it'll be fascinating to see how he deals with the challenge of an opponent who comes in with all the ambition of youth.
Yeah, well, I have no doubt that Robert McCracken will have gotten Carl Froch into the same kind of condition he has done over the last number of years. That'll be terrific condition. But if at the back of your mind you do not believe the guy you're facing is in your league, there you have the chance for a Carl Froch has let everyone know George Groves should not be there. He's not in the same league. So there is every possibility we could see a loose performance here. If you're not psyched up before you get into the ring, it's almost impossible to psych yourself up in there. So there are chances here of an upset. I believe Froch will have too much for George Groves, but I think this is going to be a terrific battle, and I think George Groves' reputation will be enhanced when this is over.
Well, what a terrific atmosphere here in Manchester. The belt's being paraded. The belt's currently in the possession of Carl Froch, but it's George Groves, the 25-year-old challenger from West London, who wants to take him away tonight. Froch, as ever, came in almost perfect on the scales. They have a lot in common. They're both amateur ABA champions, but Froch, of course, so much older. That could be a factor tonight. Froch, though, at 36, says he's in fantastic physical shape and, of course, vastly more experienced. 11th world title fight. George Groves is first. And the bookies think, you know what, that is a difference maker tonight. You can get 7-2 on George Groves, pulling off the upset. 33-1 on the draw, but the smart money is saying, you know what, Carl Froch has got the belts, and he's keeping them. But look at George Groves right in the middle of the ring, just staring, you back like almost. Right in the middle of the ring, just looking into the corner of Carl Froch, the Cobra, as if he's trying to say, I own this ring. The mind games continue. Froch saying, oh, I'm not bothered, but just look at that. That is a stare down, and that is the stare of a man who is not trying to psych himself up, Jim. He believes that he can do this.
Well, for the last number of weeks, we've been looking for little cracks in the bravado of George Groves. We've been expecting it to happen, but here we are, almost getting to the first bell, and he looks exactly the same. He's delighted to be here. Looking at that man, he is here to pick up titles tonight in his mind.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand for our national anthem? Welcome to the Phones for You Arena here in the city of Manchester. It's our main event. It's the Battle of Britain, brought to you by Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Sport, as he proudly presents 12 rounds of boxing for the WBA and the IBF Super Middleweight Championships of the world. All sponsored by Bet365, Scott's Menswear, and Trifan Technologies. Entertainment guaranteed, live here on Sky Sports Box Office and in the US on AWE, a wealth of entertainment. Ladies and gentlemen, the officials at ringside have been appointed by the WBA and the IBF, all in association with the British Boxing Board of Control Secretary Robert Smith. The WBA supervisor is Mr. Dave Roden of England. The IBF supervisor is Mr. David McCulloch of the USA. And our steward in charge is Mr. Charlie Giles of England. Our three scoring judges from Rome, Italy, Massimiliano Bianco. From Huddersfield, Leeds, England, Dave Paris. And from New York, USA, it's Walewski Rodan. And when the bell rings, the referee in charge of the action from Doncaster, England, is Mr. Howard Foster. Ladies and gentlemen, this great city of Manchester, and a very special welcome to our viewers joining us around the world. The waiting's over! Here we go! Introducing to you firstly, he's fighting out of the red corner. Wearing the blue trunks trimmed with white, weight in the 11 stone, 12 pounds, 6 ounces, undefeated. 19 contests, 19 wins, 5 inside the scheduled distance. Coming to the ring as the former undefeated British and Commonwealth Super Middleweight Champion. He is the reigning WBA Intercontinental Super Middleweight Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, from Hammersmith, London, England, it's St. George Groves! And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's the champion! He's wearing a black trunks trimmed with red and silver, weighed in at 11 stone, 13 pounds, 12 ounces. 33 fight record, 31 wins, 22 inside the scheduled distance, and just 2 defeats. He comes to the ring as the former super middleweight WBC champion of the world. He comes to the ring as the undefeated former British and Commonwealth super middleweight champion. Ladies and gentlemen, he has been involved in 11 World Championship contests. He is the reigning and defending WBA and IBF Super Middleweight Champion of the world! From Nottingham, England, it's the Cobra, Carl Froch. Come on, let's get it going. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBA and IBF Super Middleweight Championship of the world.
Well, Carl. Okay, fellas, spoke to you both in the dressing room. You both know what I expect. Keep it clean, break straight away when told. Both you watch your heads in close. Good luck to you both. Touch gloves. Good luck, lads.
Well, finally the talking stops. This one's been building and building. So too has the sense of anticipation in this arena. Carl Froch, been here, seen it, done it so many times. No mystery about him. What about this fella? How will he cope with the pressure? Jim, I've been watching him really closely during the preliminaries. He looks absolutely fine. I think we've got two guys in here, Jim, that both believe this is going to be their night.
I've been impressed all the way through with Groves, even more impressed now. Froch has tried to strike terror into his heart over the last few weeks. Hasn't worked. He's up for it.
Well, there's the Groves jab early. It's a big weapon of his. It's varied and it's spiteful. He said he'd be using it early. He talked about the 2 right hands he'd land in the first round as well. Froch laughed at him when he revealed that game plan.
Something I'd like to remember, Nick, this fight was agreed to by Adam Booth. I know he's no longer involved, but Booth is a man who's known for having his fighters' welfare at heart, doesn't take chances with the fighters. The fact that he, who knows George Groves, fancied this job Maybe we should pay some attention to that. Look how confidently he started here, backing him up.
I talked to Adam Booth not 2 hours ago, Jim. He said, I wouldn't have put him in here if I didn't think he could win it. And Paddy Fitzpatrick, the new trainer, has implemented that game plan. He's not well known outside of the boxing business, Paddy Fitzpatrick, but he's a smart cookie, knows what he's doing.
Countering well with the jab there, Groves. When he leads off, he's not finding the target, but he's landing with the counter. Good stuff.
And making Froch miss a couple of times in this opening session as well, getting in a little sneaky little uppercut there, as Howard Foster was telling him to break. Groves. He does not look like a man who's overawed by this occasion, Groves. He looks like a man that's thriving in it. Whether he'll feel like that if Froch lands a couple of right hands remains to be seen, but this jab looks a weapon. He's got those long levers. That jab just keeps going and going.
I think he's beaten Froch at his own game in the early stages here. Froch loves to counter with that left jab, with a little fail. Oh, beautiful right hand.
There's the right hand he was talking about. So far, he's executing his own plan, but then Froch lands a right hand.
Just got a little bit sloppy there, a little bit too adventurous, Groves, but what a good start from him.
This is not an overwhelming surprise. He is a fast guy, fast fighter, quick hands, great timing, Groves. A lot of people thought, you know what, Froch will wear him down, but Groves will make a good start. A lot of people see Groves being ahead after 4 or 5 rounds. And Rob McCracken was saying that's one thing we don't want. We don't want this fella getting a bridgehead and building some confidence.
Can a tentative jab from Froch, takes the right hand. He's not throwing the jab with confidence, Froch. He's struggling with the range. And
nailed! Right hand! George Groves, timing perfect. Froch on the floor for only the second time. What a shock! And this place has just become electrified.
Well, he's tentative with his own punches, and he paid the penalty. There's that right hand again.
And Froch looks unsteady in his eyes. He was hit after the bell there. What a sensational start. And Froch looks shaky as he sits down. And Rob McCracken is going to have to give one of the great talks in 1 minute. But what can he do to turn this around? Because Froch looks all over the place in there.
I was talking to George yesterday the way in, and I said any advice I would give you would show him in the first round that he's not the only puncher in there. Well, George Groves has done that, and then some. That was terrific. Well, 60 seconds be enough to recover from that. Carl Froch, as we know, has got the toughest chin in the business, but he's throwing punches with no confidence, and he's paying the penalty. And he took a big look out. Look at his legs when he comes up there. He is gone there. He is gone there, and he took another big shot. But before the bell sounded, will 1 minute be enough to get him back together again? Unbelievable start from George Groves.
Round 2.
Well, he delivered on his promise at the press conference. Although he didn't go as far as to say he was going to have Carl Froch on the floor in the first round. And Froch was badly shaken. That was not shades of Jermaine Taylor, the other knockdown.
I think there's a kind of nervousness about Froch's boxing even before the knockdown. You know, he's not throwing the punches with the confidence that we expect to see him. He is a worried man. He knows his reputation's on the line. He's been talking big. He's going to have to improve. Groves is terrific at the moment.
Well, it's still early days, but Groves is dominating this. And the speed and the timing of that right hand.
These little feints are good too, just making Froch right. Froch is looking slow. A certain Nick, if you come into the fight thinking you're in a different class from the other guy, it's a recipe for disaster. I wonder if that's the problem here with Froch.
But Froch is a warrior. He's had to dig deep so many times.
But look at the jabs, he's toying with that jab. There's no confidence in what he's doing.
And look at Groves. Groves is stalking him. Taking his time, not rushing it.
Well, he knows he has the power. Oh, he's done it again! Terrific!
He just looks so fast in there compared to Froch. Terrific speed and timing, and blocked him off there, but Froch is coming through, landing a couple of good body shots, put one himself.
Takes a left hook at the end of it. Groves responded.
Well, he's really been dragged somewhere horrible here, Carl Froch.
Well, that's the second time Froch has landed a punch after the call to break. There's no rhythm in what Carl Froch is doing. So much adventure from Groves.
Managed to get him there with a right hand counter to the body, but Groves just looks physically stronger as well. Looks like he can bully him.
He looks so relaxed, doesn't he? All the strain, all the tension seems to be with Froch.
That was a bit better from Froch. Got a jab through that just snapped the Groves head back a little bit. Froch just needs to get through this round, Jim, and I'm sure that's what Rob McCracken said. Just don't do anything stupid, get through. But he keeps getting caught by these right hands.
Do you know, all through Carl's career, we've been telling him about the left hand being too low. All good fighters, good experienced fighters have talked about it, but he's been getting away with it, so we couldn't criticise it. But the right hand can't seem to miss here from Groves.
And that's what he's thinking about when he comes forward, because he loves to come forward, but if he does come forward and walks onto one of those right hands over the top, well, we've seen what can happen. Last few seconds of the round.
I mean, there's no confidence in this jab from Froch. Look, he's playing with it as though he doesn't believe it's going to land. Now it's just pulled him over there.
Well, he just needed to get through that, didn't he, for his own confidence, I think. Now, can they continue the rebuilding process? Let's hear what Rob McCracken says.
We spoke about. Every time you catch him, don't rush him because he throws it. You're listening to me. Open your mouth. Every time you throw the jab, he rushes in. Move off, okay? If you rush in, he's going to throw that right hand. Look, you're sensible enough now to know he's looking for the right hand all of that.
Well, do you know what, Nick? No matter what happens from this point onwards, George Groves has made his reputation tonight with what he's done in the first two rounds. Fantastic. He's bullying Carl Froch. It's hard to believe, but that's what he's doing. There's no confidence in the jab of Carl Froch, which he depends so much upon. He still has those power shots, those heavy-handed punches that he throws. But Groves has walked through them and answered whatever he's had to take.
And Groves was off his stool early. He wanted to get back to this. An unbelievable start. And again, Froch almost flinching as that jab came in.
I mean, Carl Froch is the toughest guy in the business, but he doesn't like taking punches.
And another right hand.
So he is not used to this. He's looking for an answer, and he hasn't found it yet.
Just pouring at his left eye there as well, Froch. And there's that left hand, so low.
There's a little feint again from Groves. He's come in here with a terrific plan. Right hand again lands.
Froch got another right hand to the body, though. But he hasn't made any kind of a dent on George Groves yet. It'll be interesting to see those bookies' odds now. I bet they've swung back the other way drastically. And look at the speed again. Froch just launched himself in, and Groves was gone, long gone.
That was class from George Groves. That was downright cheek from
look at that
George
double
Groves.
jab.
And there's some more of the same.
My goodness me, he's making a mug of Carl Froch in there at the moment.
Carl has never been the best as far as balance is concerned, and I think he's letting him down a little bit. Now and again he's just looking a little bit clumsy, but these are paws with the jab, as though he doesn't believe they're going to land, and they're so easy to counter because there's no snap in them.
Caught again, caught with another right hand. Again, he worked the body with the right hand, Froch, but he was wide open, and a punch on the break as well from Groves.
Well, they're both guilty of that.
Good body shot. Nice right hook from Groves. He is hitting Froch so clean so often. Froch continuing to try and work the body, then finished off with the right hand upstairs, and then he starts to unload, and Groves felt that one. And now Froch is on the front foot. Another big body shot, big right hook.
Well, this is Froch's kind of fight now, when he can use his physical strength, but he's taken a big left hook back.
But for all that physical strength, it was Groves who pushed him back across the ring. The left eye of Groves is marked and swelling underneath.
And a swollen eye is worse than a cut eye because it can close completely. But Groves still having the last word, and that's so important in this kind of fight.
Again, a real lazy-looking right hand that Groves saw coming so easily, got well out of the way.
Groves' defensive boxing is spot on. His concentration is admirable. The jab again falling short from Froch. He can't string anything together, Karl Froch. There's no rhythm in what he's doing. He needs mistakes from George Groves to punish him for them, and he's not making many.
Absolutely gripping stuff. And here's Paddy Fitzpatrick. Mick Williamson has got to go to work on that eye.
Now listen to me.
Fitzpatrick, speaking to him yesterday, he was so calm. He talked about all George Groves' strengths, all Karl Froch's weaknesses, and said they match up so well.
There was a good response from Froch for a few seconds in that round, but I still feel Groves looked the boss, looked to producing the better work, and the main thing is he answered whatever Karl Froch threw at him. He was shaking himself. Froch knows he shook him up and he went in to try and capitalise on it. But Groves, again, considering his lack of experience at this level, his defensive boxing is terrific. He coped with it well, saw the crisis out, and got back onto his own job again.
Well, it was a happier corner from Karl Froch. I wouldn't say it was all smiles, but he looked a little bit more cheerful, like it was starting to come together. And anybody who writes off Karl Froch knows nothing about the man. But it is a worry, if you're a Froch supporter, how easily Groves is able to tag him.
But look at the jab. He's throwing the jab and pulling his chin out of harm's way at the same time. It's as though he's expecting to be countered. You know, it's as though he's worrying more about what's coming back than what he's doing himself. I've never seen Karl Froch like that. I mean, these are flicks.
Oh, the double jab, right hand, following up. Froch unable to get out of the way, unable to block anything.
Well, George Groves is a hero, Nick. Whatever happens from this point onwards, this has been phenomenal so far.
Well, he's made believers of everybody. And all the people, and there's plenty of them, who said Groves has a good chance here. They're looking pretty clever right now. Another double jab going through. Froch can't get out of the way of those.
And he's not going to range Groves unless he's ready to do something. He's just picking his times. He's not countering everything that Froch does. He's watching him paw with the jab and then just picking his spots. He knows he's accurate with the right hand. Froch with the low left hand. No, Froch is not trying to put his stamp on this. He's on the back foot and not doing anything about it. Wants to break them up here. They're both kind of holding and wrestling. Yep. Wants to break them up.
Howard Foster gave him every chance.
Froch looking over to the corner there, as though for some assurance or some advice. We never see that.
Well, you talk about the two trainers. Groves makes a big point about saying, look, I'm in there on my own and that's how I am. Whereas Karl says, I need Rob McCracken around. I'm not here. I'm not at the level I'm at if it's not for Rob McCracken. And how he needs that guidance and support and encouragement right now. He's just second best in all phases. Little flurries, little flashes of defiance from Froch.
Oh, good body shot.
Ever count him out.
Good body shot. Ward hurt Froch to the body a few times. Right hand again working. When you're leading...
terrific. Absolutely terrific again from Groves. And Froch, it seemed like he had a long time to get out of the way and he couldn't do it. The legs wouldn't take him.
Nick, when you're leading with punches that you don't believe in, you're wide open for the counter. He needs more commitment, Froch. This is what he needs to do. He needs more commitment and more confidence in what he's doing. He's got to believe it's going to work. He doesn't seem to.
Yeah, and Howard Foster's having a word now because that was a bit rough. So that just calms everybody down. But again, Jim, just for that moment there that Groves was pushed up against the ropes, he just bulled straight back and he's shoving Froch around this ring. I don't think anybody can quite believe this. I mean, even the people who think, oh yeah, George Groves has got a good chance, you couldn't see Groves dominating the fight the way he is at the moment.
No, Nick, let's stop saying Froch is not performing. Groves is not allowing him to perform. I think he's come in here with totally the wrong attitude. I felt that as they walked towards the ring. I felt that with the way he's been speaking recently. His reflexes are slow because of his attitude. He's making mistakes and he's been punished for everyone. Now and again with his heavy-handed shots, he's getting a little bit of success, but not tying anything together. The right hand, he's moving straight back, he's making mistakes he's been getting away with for his whole career. He's not getting away with them tonight. Look at him stepping straight back there with his hands down.
Seconds up, round 5.
Round 5 of this 12-rounder. Carl Froch defending his WBA and IBF super middleweight titles in his 11th world title fight. George Groves from West London in his first, and looking like he belongs at world level and looking like he could be here for a long, long time.
I think Froch is trying to get the centre of the ring, but there again there's that jab that there's no confidence in it. But he's taken a solid one. He's been out. His best weapon has been taken away from him.
Well, that was a bit better from Froch.
But he still took a left hook in the process. Groves has answered everything that's come his way. You can see Groves cocking that right hand. He just wants Carl to make the first move.
He's daring him to come in, and this time Froch does take the bait. And as soon as he does, Groves is quick to tie him up and try and work inside.
That was good work from Froch. There was strength and purpose in what he did there, and that's what's been lacking so far.
I think he's trying to claw his way back into this slowly and surely. We haven't even talked about the cards yet, Jim, because there's been such drama, but it's very difficult to make a case for Carl Froch winning any rounds up till now.
No, I've given every round to Groves, one of them by 2 points. But Froch is trying to claim the centre of the ring. He's trying to make it his kind of fight. But where's the fire? Where's the belief?
That right hand missed from Groves.
Good right hand again. Working a treat. Well, this is a round that's up for grabs. Probably whoever can win the last minute of this, because it's been nip and tuck with both of their moments. So whoever can put a stamp on the last minute here.
Every time, Jim, that Froch threatens like he's going to get on top and deliver one of those whirlwinds of his, Groves finds an answer. He negates it. He takes it away. Carl just can't get any rhythm. This is not a typical Carl Froch fight at all. He can't bully his opponent. He can't be physical with him. Everything he's tried so far, Groves has answered.
And his jab has pretty much been taken away from him. Better round here from Froch, but there's that left hook. You have to be impressed the way Groves answers everything that Froch comes up with.
Exactly.
But this has been a better round for Froch. Not a lot to split them, but at the moment I'm leaning towards Froch for the first time.
Digging in deep and breathing very heavily through that nose. A little bit of damage there, right on the bell, and he's cut on the scalp as well. It's all going wrong for him, isn't it? Well, Johnny and Richie are ringside alongside us, along with Ed.
Well, Richie, what a terrible start for Carl.
Yeah, terrible start and a great start for George Groves, showing good, decent power, and I think the speed of Groves has certainly startled Carl Froch. But I half expect in that corner they're expecting a fast start from Groves anyway. But nevertheless, George Groves very impressive early on, Johnny.
Expecting a start that fast. Well, George Groves' his youth and his pace has done it all. He's now got the respect of Carl Froch. Carl probably thought he could walk through George's shots. He now knows he can't. You're now sat there expecting George to land with this big shot, and if he lands, you know Carl's going to be hurt. So it's a case of he's got to slow that pace down. It's slowly starting to slow down, but you know George is still keeping it in control. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, guys. I'll go back to something I said earlier, Jim. When was it that we last saw Carl Froch looking really, really good against a fresh, young, mid-20s hotshot? You've got to go back a long way.
He's actually never done that, because the last one he faced was Darrell, and that was a struggle. not a good performance. Some people feel he lost it. I don't. But it wasn't a good performance against a certain type of opponent. Froch is terrific, but I just think that one of the biggest problems is he's come in here with completely the wrong attitude, and he's been having to deal with something he didn't even dream could happen. This is a nightmare.
If what you're saying is true, then that campaign, that sustained campaign, that verbal assault, all the belittling of Carl Froch that George Groves was doing, not giving him any respect, it's worked. It's got into Froch's head. It's played with his mind. And when you're at this level, little things like that can make a big, big difference. The mind games have been working for George Groves, clearly, because Froch just doesn't look right. And certainly, once he was put on the floor, everything was up in the air.
Froch is the one grabbing hold there. It's normally the opponent. The only way they can cope with the strength in Froch. There, the right hand, terrific right hand again.
He felt it, Jim, he felt it. Terrific powers of recovery always.
The punches that catch you high, the punches in the jaw you recover quickly from. The ones that catch you high can have a stunning effect, and it takes a little bit of time for the head to clear. That was a terrific shot. There's more, another one.
Another one, and three more. And this is big stuff from George Groves. Huge right hands.
He has outfought Carl Froch in that burst. He completely outfought him.
And he picks every one of those shots so cleanly and accurately. And he's just growing in confidence, if that's possible. And Froch walks on to more and more.
He can't miss with the right hand. There it goes again. He can't miss. He shouldn't throw anything else.
You just wonder how much even a real tough guy like Carl Froch can take of this. Another big right hook getting through there.
This is a huge round for George Groves at a time when I thought Froch's experience would get him into the fight. There it goes again. Defence is non-existent.
This is turning into a night of disaster for Carl Froch. And the worst could be yet to come. Missed that time. Froch on him straight away, but couldn't sustain the assault. And George Groves dropped his gloves and said, come on. What a tear-up. Froch is giving it everything now. But can he land anything clean? Huge pressure, but anything getting through? A right hand, I think, might have done, but he's still ducking and swaying and then boring him with the head. Groves.
You are seeing the foolishness of youth there. We're just seeing the foolishness of youth. That was crazy stuff there from George Groves. He's been so disciplined. I don't believe he did that. He's winning the round with tremendous right hands in this. All he has to do is see the round out and put another one in the bank. Take a rest, get your breath back. Lovely job.
Froch coming forward more and more. But things are getting desperate for him. What a nightmare this has been for Carl Froch.
You've got him in control now. What? Listen, you're in control because I told you to swing back. But don't stay there too long, okay? You're listening to me. Listen, when he swings back right underneath, okay? You're listening. Relax. Just listen, breathe calmly. Watch. Deep breath. Deep breath, come on. Breathe calmly. Listen to me. Keep doing what you're doing, right? What's that? You'll swing back all the time. I need you to
You know, this is a fight now that is not about tactics. Tactics have nothing to do with this fight. This is terrific action. This is all about now what each fighter can drag out of themselves. We have the fresh George Groves rampant at the moment. We have Carl Froch struggling, never had anything like this to cope with in his whole career, and he doesn't quite seem to know what to do about it. Phenomenal stuff from Groves, but he needs the discipline back, the cool head.
Round 7, a lot of people said we wouldn't hear the bell for round 7. Carl Froch would have dealt with this fella by now. Not happened. Carl Froch desperately needs to hurt George Groves, and quickly.
It's that nice little feint again from Groves. There you have it. I have him 5 points up. A terrific jab, and that put him onto his heels there.
But
Carl Froch was knocked onto his heels by a jab there.
But Groves didn't follow up.
You have to expect Groves to start conserving a bit of it.
That was a mistake from Groves. Is he starting to feel it?
Inexperienced again. Maybe he heard the call for break, Nick. Maybe we didn't hear it. Herbert Foster's actually not really called break, and that's why he took that shot. Froch has to come up with something, and he knows it.
Groves has put an awful lot into these first 6 rounds, and he's hit Froch with so many right hands, and he's still there.
But Nick, he's relaxed. He's relaxed. He's not forcing what he's doing. Froch is the one forcing, and that's when you use up the energy in what you're doing. Groves is so relaxed, just picking his times, doing it again as I'm speaking.
We thought it'd be a good one. Way, way better than I thought it was going to be, I must admit. All credit to George Groves for that.
Froch is just so slow defensively. No reflexes whatsoever. It's as though he doesn't see the punches coming. Can't believe this.
Well, let's drag out that old boxing cliche. You get old overnight. Is George Groves making an old man of Carl Froch here?
I mean, these are jabs.
Nowhere with those jabs.
They're jabs that are asking to be countered. Off balance, reaching with them, and no confidence that they're going to land. I can only assume he's trying to set up the right hand, walks onto a jab himself. But these jabs, you can only assume it's the right hand he's trying to find a route for. But not far. Beautiful stuff.
And Froch was shaken to his boots again by that right hand. Groves always a very, very good finisher, but he hasn't been able to get rid of Froch yet. It's going to take an awful lot. As the Cobra is still standing. But how much more of this? Getting the body shots in reply there, Froch. Almost like now he's said, well, I can't stop these right hands. I'm just going to have to take them and accept them and try and get some damage done myself.
But Groves so relaxed. It's as though the punches are coming out of their own accord. So perfectly timed. Everything done at the right time, and he's got his head screwed back on again. We're pleased to say.
Well, his timing is outstanding. Breathtaking.
I think Froch is expecting to be countered. I mean, look at the jab, reaching
Like
with
that.
it, and he is countered.
But he's pushed him back right on the bell. And again, George Groves didn't really take anything too heavy there. Well, David Hay warned us. He told us Carl Froch was not going to have it all his own way. Far from it, David. You've been proved spot on so far.
Yeah, you never know how someone's going to cope at top level until they're at top level. And George, you would never in a million years believe George was the challenger in this fight. He looks like the he looks like the 2-weight world champion here, and Carl Froch looks like the challenger, missing widely and not getting a grip of the fight. You know, George, he's doing everything I've seen him do in training. I said before, I wasn't sure whether he could do this at this level. I've seen him in the gym doing this stuff. Everything he's doing here, I've seen him do it for years. And I just, you know, I didn't know whether he could do it on the big stage, and he's proved tonight, no matter what happens from here on out, he's proved that he can perform at world level and at an amazing rate, pace, everything has been punch perfect so far. You know, a few more rounds to go, but he's doing everything right here.
Absolutely spot on. And you called it, David. You know him better than anybody, or as well as anybody. He has stepped up, whatever happens now, he has stepped up to elite level.
The right hand, oh, good, he's just taken. I saw that one, but that one was in the chin. That was a beauty from Froch. That was bang on the chin.
And again, he went in with his head there,
here.
Groves.
That he seems okay, but that was bang on the chin.
It's going to take something like that from Froch now. He's so far behind, you would think. There he is again, and he's shaking him up again, and Groves is in a bit of trouble now. And Froch trying to bully him and rough him up. And Howard Foster's got his hands full here.
Well, this is a time Groves needs a cool head. Calvin in with the forearm there. That was a little bit cynical. The forearm and the elbow. So, but I think Groves will be happy with a little bit of respite, because I think he's been caught with a couple of solid punches in this round.
Sign of desperation perhaps there from Froch. He'll do anything now to drag himself back into this round 8. But just a couple of signs in the last couple of rounds that Groves is starting to feel the weight of these Froch punches.
He has come off the pace a little bit, Groves, but he's still doing the right thing. Good work there.
Slipped inside that right hand, got him with a nice sharp left-hand counter as well. And then very quick to time up, but Froch getting free, and Froch starting to rough him up a little bit. George Groves cannot let that happen. You don't let Carl Froch get on top of you and overwhelm you. That's asking for trouble.
Well, inexperience can be his only enemy tonight, George Groves. He's doing silly things now. He's forgetting about his defences. He wants to show the macho, but there's no need for that. He's macho enough for everybody. This is a round that's in the balance. Froch started well. Groves is coming back at him. Good solid jab from Groves. Well, this is another round that at the moment it seems up for grabs. They've both produced.
Froch has gone right off the gas. Then he launched in, and it was a bit rough and a bit crude. Another big swinging right hand from Groves. Sends the spray in, but then look at the response from Froch and more trouble.
You know what? That could be a point off. That could be a point off.
I think
that could be a point off. He heard noise warning the two of them, but Karl Froch was the one there, and that's the last thing he can afford tonight. But that was cynical. He heard the call to break, and he carried on with 3 punches. That should have been a point off.
Well, he'll resort to anything now, Froch. It's desperation time. 20 seconds left in round 8. Groves tags him again with one of those right hands over the top. Froch charges after him. Groves gets away again. Doesn't want to stand and trade with Froch in this mood because he's desperate.
Yeah, but there are times when Groves has actually out-fought Karl Froch. I'm swaying towards, I think, the best punches Froch landed tonight in that round were illegal punches. So maybe this round, which was close, is turning back Groves' way. Tough one to score, this one.
Absolutely breathtaking stuff, this. Stick this one on the list of great domestic super middleweight title fights that we've seen.
Catch a breathing. Good. Good.
No, well, Froch made that round his kind of fight. They both had good spells. But once again, Groves, who made silly mistakes. Now, that punch wasn't as bad as we first thought because it kind of caught him in the back of the head. So it wasn't a legal shot. Yeah, that just kind of knocked him off balance. But he's losing concentration, and that was the kind of cynical elbow from Froch. So Froch lucky not to have a point deducted in that round. Rough house from both guys. It's that kind of fight, and I tell you, Nick, what a fight it is.
It really is. There's not a whole lot of respect between the two of them in there right now. But I hope there is, and there should be, when it's all done and dusted, because this has been an epic fight so far. And they're booing Howard Foster, but Howard Foster is doing absolutely the right thing just to try and calm this down, because it's been threatening to overheat once or twice. I don't think, even if he loses a point, Froch, I don't think it makes much difference now. I can't see him getting a point.